Imagine for a moment that it is a Tuesday morning, right around 7:45 a.m. You are sitting in your car, gripped by that familiar, low-grade hum of the morning commute, wondering if this is really the rhythm of the next 30 years. You think about your bank account, that number you checked on your phone while the coffee was brewing. It is fine, it is safe, but it feels static. There is this nagging sensation in the back of your mind, a quiet question that asks if your money is actually working as hard as you are. You dream of a life where the mortgage isn't a weight, and retirement isn't a scary concept, but a tangible reality of freedom. You want to build something that lasts, but the world of finance often feels like a shouting match where you are caught in the middle. Let me tell you about a guy named David. David was a cautious professional who did everything right. He saved a portion of every paycheck, but he was terrified of the stock market because he remembered the 2008 crash. To David, stocks felt like gambling, so he decided to put every extra cent into physical gold coins. He liked the weight of them. He felt like a fortress. 10 years later, David's gold had held its value, but when he looked at his friend Sarah, who had consistently automated her savings into a simple total stock market index fund, the difference was staggering. Sarah hadn't touched her account once, she just let it grow. While David had protected his money from disappearing, Sarah had actually built wealth. David had a shield, but Sarah had a garden that was now producing its own fruit. To understand why this happens, we have to look at what gold and stocks actually are, stripped of the hype. Think of gold as the ultimate insurance policy. For thousands of years, humans have agreed that this metal has value. It doesn't need a government or a CEO to run it well. It just exists. This is why people flock to it when the world feels like it's falling apart. Gold acts as a stabilizer, a store of value. If you bought a high-quality suit with an ounce of gold 100 years ago, that same ounce would still buy you a suit today. It protects your purchasing power, but it doesn't create anything new. A bar of gold in a safe today will be the same bar in 50 years. It doesn't grow, it just stays. Stocks, on the other hand, represent ownership and human ingenuity. When you buy a share, you are becoming a tiny owner of a business that is actively trying to solve problems and earn a profit. If the company grows, your slice of the pie grows. If they pay a dividend, they are handing you a portion of their earnings just for owning the stock. This is why, over the long haul, the stock market has historically outperformed almost every other asset class. You are betting on the collective drive of thousands of people to make their companies more efficient. While gold sits still, stocks are moving, breathing, and expanding. Now you might be thinking, but stocks can crash, and you are absolutely right. The stock market is an ocean with tides and storms. Day to day, it's chaotic. Over decades, however, the trend has historically moved upward. The problem most people face is that they try to jump in when the water is warm and jump out the second they see a dark cloud. This is where they lose. The secret to using stocks to protect your money isn't about picking the perfect company or timing the exact bottom of a crash. It's about timing the market, not timing the market. Imagine a simple scenario. If you invest $500 a month into a diversified basket of stocks and earn an average return of 7% or 8%, roughly the historical average after inflation, the power of compound interest starts to do something that feels like magic. In the beginning, it's slow. You might feel like you're barely making progress, but after 20 years, the interest your money earns starts making more money than your original contributions did. This is the garden Sarah was growing. Gold cannot do this. Gold doesn't compound. It only reacts to the price people are willing to pay for it at that moment. So, which one actually protects your money? The answer depends on what you are protecting it from. If you are protecting your money from a total collapse of the global financial system, gold is the ultimate break glass in case of emergency asset. But if you are protecting your money from the much more likely threat of a long, healthy life where things get more expensive every year, then stocks are your primary tool. Most people in their prime earning years don't need a vault full of gold. They need an engine of growth. The most practical takeaway for a risk-aware investor is often a balance.
Many financial experts suggest that the bulk of your wealth should be in productive assets. Things like stocks or real estate that generate income. Gold can be a small slice of that pie, perhaps 5% or 10%, acting as financial insurance to keep you calm during the years when the stock market is having a bad season. Having that small bit of gold might give you the psychological peace of mind to stay invested in your stocks when everyone else is panicking. The real secret to building wealth isn't finding a get-rich-quick scheme. It's about becoming the kind of person who can think 20 years ahead instead of 20 minutes ahead. It's about automating your investments so that your emotions don't have a chance to sabotage your future. When you set up an automatic transfer into a low-cost index fund, you are making a decision once that benefits you thousands of times. You are choosing to believe in the future. Wealth is built quietly while you focus on your life. It's not about checking candles on a chart every morning. It's about the confidence of having a plan. You don't need to be a math genius to do this well. You just need the patience to let the process work, and the wisdom to know the difference between an investment that grows and a safe haven that just sits there. As you finish that commute or wrap up your day, take a deep breath. You don't have to figure it all out by tomorrow morning. Small, consistent steps, like increasing your savings rate by just 1% or finally opening that brokerage account, matter far more than waiting for the perfect moment. Wealth isn't about having a mountain of gold. It's about having the freedom to spend your time exactly how you want to. You are already smarter and more capable of managing this than you were 10 minutes ago. Trust the process, stay the course, and remember that time is your greatest ally.